Good morning. We ask that you please stand for the processional. ask that you please remain standing for the presentation of colors and the national anthem. Please remain standing as we have our invocation by Ms. Asaya Williams.
Lord God, we ask for your almighty hand to be upon all those who graduate today. Bless their lives from this day on with goodness and love. Help them to stay true to their dreams, to use their gift wisely, and to walk into the future with faith, hope, and great love. Amen.
Please be seated. We will now have our welcome by Class President Kayla Hardy.
Good morning. My name is Kayla Hardy, Senior Class President for the Class of 2018. Welcome to the Weldon State High School Career Academy graduation ceremony. I hope this day fills you with much pride as my fellow graduates and I today. Thank you.
We will now have our introduction of the speaker by Cedric Vinson.
Good morning. My name is Cedric Vincent, and I have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker today. Her name is Ms. Jewel Scott. Ms. Scott is a Duke University School of Nursing alumna. Her research interests are in women's health, chronic disease, obesity, and health disparities. She is currently employed by Piedmont Health System and practices at the Moncure Community Health Center in Moncure, North Carolina. Ms. Scott has a strong commitment to community health and previously worked at a school-based health center operated by Loyola University School of Nursing in Maywood, Illinois, and in primary care at Lawndale Christian Health Center located on Chicago's west side. In addition, she spent 16 months as a missionary volunteer in the Dominican Republic, working with women and youth in schools and community settings. Her experiences serving vulnerable populations in urban, rural, and international settings, as well as her own personal experiences, have influenced her research interests. Ms. Scott research will focus on the interplay of stigma, obesity, and chronic disease in minority population. After the musical selection by DeAndre Pittman, Nakia Spence, and Tyree Hawkins, we will be honored to hear from our keynote speaker, Ms. Jewel Scott.
I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying, you'll never reach it. Every step I'm taking, every move I make feels lost, no direction. My faith is shaking, but I gotta keep trying, gotta keep my head held high. There's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's a climb. The struggles I'm facing, the chances I'm taking, sometimes might knock me down, but no, I'm not breaking. I may not know it, but these are the moments that I'm gonna remember most, yeah. Just gotta keep going, and I gotta be strong. Just keep pushing on, 'cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's a climb.
So good morning. It is indeed an honor to be here with you all today to share this big occasion with the class of 2018. Whoop, whoop. I am so excited. I love graduations. There's just so much excitement in the air. I want to say thank you to Cedric for that lovely introduction, and thank you, Ms. Allen, who's been amazing with planning, and Principal Green and Dr. Wells for having me here today. So as we start our discussion, our conversation today, I'm hoping that I'll say some words that maybe will stick with you as you start out your young adult lives. I want to talk to you today about resilience. Now, resilience is kind of a fancy word that seems to be popping up in a lot of different places. So I have this slinky with me, and you may be thinking, why in the world is she up there playing with toys with a slinky? But it turns out that a slinky can be a lot like you and me. So we're going to use this slinky as an example of resilience. So you see, I can stretch this slinky all the way out, and if I keep pulling it, it will pop and break. And that's kind of like a lot of us in this room. There may be a lot of what's called toxic stress that has stretched us and stretched us and stretched us, where sometimes we feel like we're at our breaking point. But just like the slinky, every single one of us in this room have resilience potential. We have the ability to bounce back from all sorts of things. Just the fact that you're sitting in those chairs, wearing that blue gown and that square hat with your makeup done and your fresh haircut, my friend, you have resilience potential. You see, I wanted to start with telling you a little story about a little guy I met named Williams. As Cedric said in the introduction, I'm a nurse. I am not a kindergarten teacher, but I played one for a year in the Dominican Republic. I taught kindergarten to 18 busy 5-year-olds. Now, a lot of you probably went to preschool or daycare before kindergarten, but a lot of these kids, they had never been inside of a school. Many of them had never held a pencil or a pen or a crayon. So a lot of what we did was building up their little finger muscles so that they could hold a pencil and so that they could learn how to write their names. So anyway, I had 18 busy, rambunctious, all over the place 5-year-olds, and one me trying to figure out how to be a teacher. And so the routine was the teachers in the morning would stand in the front door and they would greet the kids as they came to school. And there's no school buses, and so kids come walking to schools. If somebody has a pickup truck, you'll get a load of kids on the back of the pickup truck. And then some would come on a motorcycle, like my friend Williams. And so he would come holding his dad's around his waist, come to the school on the motorcycle. The teachers would be standing out front, ready to greet kids. Usually about 7:45, they would start rolling in. And as is the custom there, they would come up and they would say, good morning. They'd say, buen dia, profe. Profe is short for professora. Buen dia, Miss Laney. Buen dia, Robert. Buen dia, Williams. All the other kids would smile at you and give you a high five, be happy to see you, but not William. He had to have one of the saddest faces I've ever seen on a 5-year-old. So it turns out, over the course of that school year, we had a ball in that classroom. We sang songs, we danced, we read books, we did crafts. All the kids learned how to write their names, which was a pretty big deal for them. Most kids learn how to write their names in 1st grade there. And it turns out William was really smart. Now, he would barely speak a word to me. He would finish his work, he would walk up to me, and he would just kind of grunt, I'll say, okay. I said, well, wow, William, you did a good job. And he would just kind of walk back to his seat. But before you know it, we were at the last day of school, and I had to say goodbye to my 18 amazing kids. And as their parents came to pick them up, one by one, they left on that last day, and there were hugs and there were kisses. And I was hugging this other kid, and before I know it, I got this big, strongest, tightest, sweetest hug you could ever imagine. It almost knocked me over. And William looked up at me with tears in his eyes, and he said, bye, Profe. I said, bye, William. Te cuida bien. Take good care of yourself. You see, over the course of that year, William had made some connections. He found people that cared about him. His classmates cared, his teachers, and the adults at the school really cared. And he realized that he was good at a lot of things. You see, we are a lot like Williams in some way. We can all have on our tough and our mean face to protect us from this world, but at the end of the day, we all need connections. We were not meant to go through this world by ourselves all alone. You see, at 5 years old, William had already had some really tough things happen to him in life. His mom died when he was young. He missed her a ton. He didn't want to talk about it a lot. His dad lost his job, and there were just things that were not very easy for them at home. Look at all of the stress that William had endured in those 5 years. You see, over time, stress can be toxic to our bodies. Now, if you're still unclear of what toxic stress is, let me give you another example. Anyone in here afraid of snakes? I don't even like saying the word, okay? Or maybe for you, it's a bear. What would happen if you opened your back door, you walked out and saw a bear rumbling through the garbage can? Or for me, one day I was in the Dominican Republic, it was nighttime, I walked up to my door, I was getting ready to open it, and there was something the size of a grapefruit. It was a tarantula. Ooh, yeah, that's how I felt. I was like, oh my. So what happens to your body in that moment? Something that's called flight or fight. Our brains are wired so it recognizes that when we are in a stressful situation, like we're trying to decide whether we need to run from a bear or a snake or fight off a tarantula, it speeds up blood going to our arms and to our legs. Our heart beats really fast so it can move all that blood. Our eyes get really big so that we can see if there's any more danger around us. That's called flight or fight. And our bodies are meant to do that, and then it's meant to calm back down when stress has passed. But when we go through really hard times over and over again, our bodies can stay in that flight or fight mode. Where like that stretch, we get stretched as far as we can. But our bodies aren't meant to stay like that over a long period of time. So the amazing thing is, there's a lot that we can do to make sure the slinky of our lives does not stay stretched out of shape. There's a lot we can do to build up our resilience muscle. So I want to share with you today 2 little things that are key for all of us to build up our resilience potential. Now remember, resilience is like that slinky. It stretches all the way out, feels like it's going to break, but then it bounces back. So today, the 2 things that we're going to talk about is 1, building connections with others. You see, just like Williams in my story, we all need connections. We need to know that we're cared for and that we're loved. We all need a squad, but you've got to choose your squad carefully. The second thing is participation. We have to be intentional about participating in life. You see, loneliness is real. A study that was done last year said that about 50%, half of the people under age 25 reported feeling lonely. And the toxic stress of being lonely is equal to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's how bad it is for your health. But things like connecting with others, getting a good education, building relationships that last, being involved in your community, those are things that you can do to reverse those effects. And so you might think, in 2018, how in the world could I be lonely? I have Facebook. I've got 500 friends on Facebook. I have 50 likes on Instagram. Maybe I have a snap streak going with somebody in this room. But with so many opportunities to connect, there's still a difference between Snapchat and Instagram and those things. You can have fun on those social medias, but it's not the same as a face-to-face connection with someone. It does not take the place of sitting down and making a real connection. So our brains are wired to respond when we hear the voice of a friend and when we spend time with people we like. It produces hormones that makes us feel good. It makes us feel warmed and loved and cared for and safe. Your brain does not respond that way when you see a heart on a text message. It's very different than having a real life relationship with someone, a real life connection. So think about Williams. Over the course of that last year in kindergarten, he was surrounded by people who showed him that he was cared for, that he was supported, that he was in part of a community of people that were supporting him. That little boy who knocked me over on that last day of school was not the same little boy I met on the first day. Building connections with your friends, your teachers, people in your community, it will build up your resilience muscle. So I hope you'll start thinking about how you can build up your resilience muscle. And as you walk across this stage today and you receive your diploma, it will be easy to drift away from the people you felt connected to over these last 4 years. And that's okay. But it's not okay to not build new connections. You see, there's natural transitions in life. Graduating is important. It's necessary for you to move on to that next exciting part of your journey. But as you transition, make an extra effort to maintain and to build connections. This may look like making a new friend or picking up the phone to call a friend. You know, we need to hear each other's voices. We need to meet up, go for a walk, go shopping, have lunch. We need to see faces smiling and laughing for our brain to register that, I'm connected and I'm safe. Now, the other part of connections is recognizing the people around you who do not have that connection and making that first step to be a friend. It can start with a smile and just being open to making a new friend. That's how we build our resilience potential. So I ask that you make it your business to stay connected as you move away from Weldon City High School. Stay connected with your friends, make new friends, be part of the community, and be involved. Now, the second thing I want to talk to you about is I want to share with you the power of participating. You see, I found out a long time ago that an amazing life doesn't just happen to you. It doesn't just happen by wishing and hoping. You, my friend, you have to work for it. You have to make it happen. You know what? You have the biggest say in what your life will become. Now, I graduated high school many years ago, before all of you were born, before a lot of you were born. But when I graduated, I graduated from Enloe High School in Raleigh. We had a class of 400 students, and I was number 35. So I was feeling good about myself. I was in the top 10% of my class. And there was a lot of people in my class that didn't look like me. They had parents that made a lot more money than my parents did. And they never knew about really hard stuff like being evicted and coming home and having the lights turned off. So I was feeling good. I was doing okay. So of course I was going to college, right? Yeah, I found out real quick that I had to make it happen. You see, I found that I couldn't just sit back and think stuff was just going to automatically happen. You know, today is graduation day, and I know it's an exciting day, and it should be. I want you to pat yourself on the back because this has been a journey, And I totally get that life hasn't been full. That's right, pat yourself on the back. Life has not been full of crystal staircases for many of you, roses and unicorns. That may not be your story. You worked hard to get here, and I hope you're feeling good about it. Some of you had some really slinky moments where you felt like you were stretched to your breaking point. But look at your resilience potential. You made this amazing accomplishment. You bounced back, and you are getting your diploma today. I am so happy for you. I want you to enjoy today. I want you to enjoy tomorrow and the weekend. Celebrate you. You deserve it. But then, if you haven't done so already, it's time to start planning. Note that I said planning and not wishing and hoping. So let me share with you a little bit of my experience. So graduation was fun and cool. We had a good time. The weekend was good. But before you know it, the summer flies by. And August rolls up on you, and people are going off to college, or they're starting their first class at Halifax Tech. And what will you be doing if you do not start planning? Let me tell you from my experience that it sucks to have everyone else going off to start something new and exciting, like studying to be a teacher, a nurse, a cosmetologist, and you don't have a plan. It does not feel good. So how do I know? Yours truly, Miss Graduated in the top 10% of her high school class, found herself sitting at home in August when all of her friends were going off to college. Wait, let me correct it. I was not sitting at home. I was getting up and going to work at Taco Bell. Now, there's nothing against Taco Bell, but I knew I wanted more for my life, and I knew I was capable of more. But guess what? It doesn't just happen. You have to work for it. I had to fill out college applications. I had to figure out financial aid forms. I had to stay on my parents to fill out their forms because they didn't know how to fill them out, so I had to find help for them to fill them out. I had to talk to my teachers and guidance counselors, all of these people around you, your connections who are here to help you. You don't have to know everything. You just have to know where to go and find that knowledge. So I could not sit back on the couch and just wait for it to happen. If I did, I would still be working at Taco Bell. Now, I tell you, I know way too much about making tacos and burritos. I can still tell you that a combination burrito gets 1.5 ounces of beans, 1.5 ounces of meat, 1/4 ounce of onions, 1/2 ounce of cheese. You roll it up in that 1.25 ounce tortilla. I worked at Taco Bell, okay? But I realized that I wanted more, and I could do more, and I know you can do more. But you're gonna have to hustle. Now, you're gonna have to hustle legally, but you gotta hustle. Now, we have to participate in this journey of life if we're going to get anywhere and make our dreams become reality. And even once you're in college, you still have to work hard. You got to remember the goals that you've set and remind yourself that it will be worth it, and surround yourself with people, connections who can remind you that it will be worth it. Now, there was a little movie that came out this year. Some of you probably saw it. Anybody see Black Panther? Uh-huh. Now, there's a little scene in that movie that I totally missed the first time that I saw the movie. Now, come on, I know I'm not the only one that saw it more than one time, right? Okay. So T'Challa has just been anointed king, and they have this ritual where he lies down in this bed of flowers, and they give him some kind of purple juice to drink. That was kind of weird, but anyway. So he lies down, and he has this dream. He kind of goes back and visits his father who has passed away. And talking to his father, he finds out these really terrible things that his father has done, and he's devastated. He wakes up, and it seems as if he has this shame from finding out that his father had killed his uncle and had abandoned his cousin. I think it would be fair to say that T'Challa in that moment was really stressed out. He was not so sure about his resilience potential. If his father was that kind of man, could he do any better, or would he be just like his dad? But you know what? King T'Challa had a couple of amazing connections in his life. He had Shuri, his little sister, that kept him in check. He had this squad of amazing warriors behind him that had his back, and he had a strong supportive relationship with his girl, Nakia. You see, T'Challa wakes up, and he learns some hard things about his family. And then the scene flashes to the mountainside where he and Nakia are sitting there, and they're talking. You may remember Nakia is played by the beautiful Lupita Nyong'o. And just like a good sister, she's encouraging him, and she says, "You can't let your father's mistakes define you. You, T'Challa, get to decide what kind of king you will be." And I say to you, Weldon City STEM graduates, you get to decide what kind of future you will have. You know, basically she said to him, you are in charge of your life. So my friends, this is not the time to put your life on cruise control and think amazing things are just going to appear. Don't be the backseat passenger in your life, just along for the drive, just chilling to see what's going to happen. No. Get out that back seat. Take control of things. I say to you that you are in charge. You have to participate. You've got to jump all in to make this the best life possible. So you see, what has happened up to this point, You know, all the hard stuff, the drama at home, the alcoholic parent, the eviction, the stuff that you wish you could run away from, that stuff does not define you. But I'm here to tell you that from this day forward, you can take control. You can get out of that back seat and you can drive this car called life like your life depends on it. Take charge. You know what? And while you're at it and you're driving that car, look around you. Who's in the car with you? Who are your connections? You need the right people around you to get that car down the road. You want people that when you are feeling all the way stretched out into your breaking point, that they can remind you of your resilience potential. So, you know, in wrapping up, I'm reminded of a simple story that I heard recently about a young boy who every time he got a report card, he would go by and show the old lady in his neighborhood. Now, you know, many of us in our neighborhoods, there's a big mama, a grandma, a mother in the church, someone who just takes care of everybody's children, just loves on them. So this little boy got his kindergarten grade report, and he was so excited. He ran to show Mama Smith, and she said, "That's good, my baby. But go on, go on, go on." A few years later, he won the 5th grade spelling bee, and of course, he could not wait to tell Mama Smith. She smiled, she gave him a big hug, and she said, "That's good, my baby. But go on, go on, go on." In high school, he played basketball, he maintained his B average, and the old woman said, "Baby, that's good, but go on, go on, go on." So today, graduates, I encourage you to participate in your life. Get in the driver's seat, build your squad carefully, and by all means, go on, go on, go on. God bless you.
Miss Scott, if you could come back really quick. It has truly been an honor meeting you, and I'm encouraged from that, so I know the graduates are. This is just a token of our appreciation, some of your favorite things. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. So now we will get to hear from our valedictorian and our salutatorian. First up, we will have the charge to the graduates by our valedictorian, Lawrence Mongo.
Good morning. I'm sorry, I'm really excited. Graduates, friends, family, staff, and honored guests, welcome. My name is Lawrence Mungo, valedictorian of the 2018 graduating class. I was given the task of providing the charge for my classmates. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't even begin to describe how many drafts I went through on this charge. But I felt the most important message I could leave with my fellow graduates was keep moving on. My bad, keep moving forward. For many of us, this day will feel like we reached the top of the mountain. For many of us, it may feel like the ultimate peak. The view seems amazing from here, and it feels like we couldn't possibly get any better. Well, friends, I'm happy to deliver the news that you ain't seen nothing yet. Our past 12 years as students, we've encountered many obstacles, and it may have felt as if we were working towards the biggest accomplishment of our lives. True. In this moment, it is the biggest accomplishment we've yet conquered. But I urge you, fellow classmates, to keep moving forward. Keep moving forward, because if I realize anything in my time here at Weldon, is that the milestone is not an end for any single one of us. It's the beginning. What we thought was the sweetest view of the top of that mountain wasn't even a small taste of success that is there for us. No. Graduation is not the top of the mountain, graduates. Graduation is the tip of the iceberg. Just like the tip of the iceberg, what we've accomplished so far as students is a tiny fraction of what is capable of you. The second you begin to define life by your limitations instead of your capabilities, at the same second you begin to travel in the wrong direction. Now, as we prepare to go, are many different directions. Some to college, some to military, some to workforce. We begin to see what lies beneath the water's surface. We begin to see the amazing depth of that iceberg and its incredible capabilities. We have this young, unflattering potential, but the only way we can truly harness is if we keep moving forward. Confidence in your capabilities and taking root in those foundations that we've created here at Weldon will serve you in your future endeavors. Remember that you must keep on moving forward. Even when life deals you a hand you feel you can do nothing with, remember that your struggles are simply lessons. Every valley eventually leads to the peak, beaten down and not broken. If you have air in your lungs, you have what it takes to keep moving forward. Don't be discouraged if you can't seem to become a millionaire overnight. Even bestsellers are still written one page at a time. And trust me, some of those pages are rough. Remember those incredible capabilities that lie just beyond the water's surface, the same ones that not everyone will be able to see. Believe that time will eventually unravel all that you have to offer. And remember, keep moving forward. But let me stop talking. We have some diplomas that need to be distributed and celebrating to do. So class of 2018, thank you for the opportunity to grow and learn with you. I hope when you look back at the time we've spent here, you do it with appreciation and positivity. Yes, look back and remember often. But Chargers, we never stop, we never rest, and we never rust. Thank you.
Next, we will have our salute to parents and staff by Star Asia Smith-Wiley, our salutatorian.
Good morning. I hope you all are well. I'm Star Asia Smith-Wiley, the salutatorian for the graduating class of 2018. My task was to deliver a speech to address and thank our parents, our families, our staff, and our honored guests who have come to show their support today. And I have to be honest, I had no clue where to start because there are no words to express how much everyone has helped us, but I'll do my best on speaking in behalf of everyone. There are so many people who made up the support system that helped pave our path to this day. For me and many of my classmates, our families played a vital part in that support system throughout our journeys. I can hear my grandmother's voice in my head as I'm saying this. Star Asia, you need to get to school on time. And thanks to her, I did. Thanks to her and my mom, I am up here speaking on behalf of my graduating class. As I'm saying this, I'm also reminded of the constant encouragement I got from my mom when I was feeling down or defeated. My family was always the anchor that I needed to stay grounded. For them and for all the family support we received over our years as students, we say thank you. Thank you for having our backs when times got tough. Thank you for sparking the potential that was always there, but we failed to see ourselves. Thank you for the unconditional love you showed us, even when we seemed ungrateful. Mostly, thank you for being witness to this milestone in our lives, but the thanks will not stop there. We will continue to need your support as we choose our next adventure, whether it is getting a job, going to college, or even joining the military. You will be the roots that keep us grounded as our branches continue to grow. Moving on, we have all of our faculty and staff in one room at the same time for the final time in our lives. What could we possibly say to the people that made our education possible? To the faculty and staff of Weldon STEM High School Career Academies, we say thank you. Thank you for spending time with us even after school. Thank you for giving us the opportunity we needed to succeed in and out of school. Thank you for showing up every day, for setting the bar high. for challenging us to be our best selves, even when we didn't feel motivated to be our best selves. Most of all, thank you for helping us learn how to be ourselves. To our special guests in attendance with us today, we hope you take as much pride in our accomplishments as we are today. Thank you for sharing in this important moment with us, and thank you for supporting us. We now will have the presentation of diplomas by Mr. John Green and Ms. Pittman.
And now the moment that we are all waiting for, we will now present to you the graduating class 2018 Weldon STEM High School Career Academies. Guests, please hold your applause until all names have been called. We certainly appreciate that. Tanaya Chantel Anderson. Chardonnay Larice Avent. Latasia Renee Banks. Jayshawn Rashad Cherry. Patrick Clemens Jr. Deja Lachelle Dupree. Traquarius Traquan Epps. Isaiah Jala Evans. Joshua Malcolm Fleetwood, Jr. Cameron Jaleel Gray. Kasia Tion Hardy. Kayla Tanae Hardy. Sabrina Jasmine Harvey. Tyree Jamar Hawkins. Jarek Davon Lewis. Naasia Sharice Mallory. Dadrian Tariq McGee Knight. Lawrence Dwayne Mungo. Santez Tyshawn Outlaw. Jordan Jermaine Person. DeAndre Rayshawn Pittman. Javante Deshawn Punton Harrell. Shemaya Nashe Robinson. Kemal Mahdi Rover. Marjay Levar Scott. Rosie Marie Sledge. Saeed Marshawn Smith. Star Asia Darlene Arnasia Smith-Wally. Nakia Siobhan Spence. Travis Jalen Stith. Jabari Rashid Thomas. Cedric Lamont Vincent Jr. Asaya Jahan Williams. And again, we present to you the graduating class of Weldon STEM High School Career Academies 2018. Congratulations, babies.
We will now have the conferring of the graduates by Dr. Anitra Wells.
Good morning, and congratulations to the Weldon STEM High School Career Academies class of 2018. Candidates for graduation, please stand. It gives me great pleasure to announce that after conferring with your principal and school staff, it has been determined that each of you have fulfilled all of the requirements to obtain your high school diplomas. By the powers vested in me by the state of North Carolina and the Weldon City School Board of Education, I am honored to officially declare you graduates of Weldon STEM High School Career Academies. You may turn your tassels.
Whew, you can be seated, guys. We will now have the charge to the class of 2018 by Mr. Lawrence Gansey.
Class of 2018, make some noise. To our superintendent, Dr. Anitra Wells, school board chair and members, administrators, commencement speaker, teachers, staff, family, friends, and the graduating class of 2018, good morning. Good morning. My name is Lawrence Gansey, and I have served as the college advisor for Roanoke Valley Early College and Weldon STEM High School Career Academies for the past 2 years. What an impactful and rewarding experience this has been serving the Weldon community. Today, I have been assigned the task to give a charge to the graduating class of 2018. Let me first begin by saying how proud I am of each of you. The journey to getting where you are today has not always been easy. Sometimes you wanted to quit, other times you wanted to give up, but you persevered and made it through. Today, we take time to celebrate this major milestone in your life and all your achievements. I want to provide just a few words of wisdom that will help you as you navigate through life. Some of you plan to attend college next, and some join the workforce, but it is important to remember that everyone's path to success is different. Learn to be confident in your own journey and always make room for God to direct your path. Allow your past and present experiences here to propel and push you into your future. When life knocks you down, pick yourself up and fight until you reach the finish line. I wish I could tell you that life will always be easy, but the truth of the matter is it will not always be. Real life, not from the lens of social media or lifestyle or your favorite celebrities, can be full of challenges, let-ups and let-downs, bills, come on somebody. But you have something great inside of you called purpose. Purpose simply refers to the reason in which you were created. To be successful, prosperous, innovators, creatives, game changers, problem solvers, to make a difference, and the list goes on. I charge you today to go after all of your dreams, no matter how big they appear or how impossible they seem. If an opportunity you want is not there, take charge and make it for yourself. Never limit yourself or any of the abilities, gifts, or talents you possess. You have not tapped into all that you will be. Don't allow where you are from to keep you from where you can go. Always have faith, believe in yourself, and push forward in everything you do. Again, I'm proud of you, and congratulations, class of 2018. Charge up, pride. Now we will have closing remarks from Mr. Green, who is our principal.
Good morning. To our superintendent, Dr. Wells, to our board members, Mr. Hugh Cradle, our chairman, to board member Chester Austin, our vice chairman, to Tanya Bird Robinson, Alberta Green, Tiffany Hale in her absence, and Odie Sykes and James Williams. To our parents, to the Weldon STEM High School Career Academy's faculty and staff, who's one of the best staff in this here community. Thank you, graduates, for clapping. That's why you sat there today. We want to take this time first to say, parents, we thank you, because without you, there would be no reason for us to be here today. So for that, I would like our graduates to give your parents a hand. I want you to always remember that we were never hard on you because we didn't like you. We were always hard on you because we loved you, and that's the reason why you sit before us today. This class was very interesting this year. I don't have time to tell it all, and I'm not even going to try. But I will say, they moved a little slow this year than I liked, a little slow this year than the teachers liked, but they pulled it off. I am proud to be standing here today, graduating my third class, the class of 2018, since I've been on board as principal. And I am extremely proud to say the total amount this year that these seniors raised, and this is our third year having this milestone. The total for scholarships and financial aid came out to be $1,208,180.00. Class of 2018, we celebrate you. We love you. Continue to do well. Make us proud. Remember where you come from, because we are now holding you accountable, just as you held us accountable to educate you. Parents, we are still holding you accountable to push them, because I know they want to tell you that they're grown. But trust me, they are not grown. They are just beginning. So your life don't stop here. And remember, for every no that you will experience, keep going, because one day you're going to hear that yes to get you where you need to be. Do you all hear me what I'm saying? Don't take no as a weakness. Take it as strength, because more no's that you shake off, you put up under your feet, the higher you go to reach your yes. So we are proud of you. We thank you. And remember, chargers never quit. We keep on charging. Be blessed.
Amen. If you don't mind, can you please stand for our recessional?